Hi everyone, it's Val here. Welcome back to my channel. This piece was a DTIYS entry I made for this artist 5K DTIYS on Instagram. Not sure how to pronounce their name properly, so instead of butchering it, I'll just leave their username and profile icon here. While I was doing this piece, other than lighting study, I wanted to push myself and try creating a more atmospheric piece for once. And I was really happy when the artist commented through their story how they felt and saw through my intention in this piece. So today I'll be sharing on how to make people feel your drawing, or in other words, how I create mood and atmospheres. In the case of a more original approach, as in you're not doing a full study by referencing a picture as a whole and you want to incorporate your own original ideas to it, before I start any drawing, I always plan a general overview of what I want to draw. I usually plan this in my head. I don't necessarily write it down, but if it helps you better that way, then you can go ahead and do it. To help break things down more easily, I would always think through these two main things. First, what's the general mood you want to portray through your drawing? In other words, what do you want your audience to capture and feel through your painting? Do you want a more somber, sadder mood, or a fierce, epic, dramatic kind of feels to it, or a more joyful one, and so on. Thus, for this part, I would usually plan the character, general lighting, and color palette I want for my painting. Second of all, story or overall setting. It doesn't have to be elaborate, and it focuses more on the emotional aspect and what the character is doing in your portrait. To simply put it, what do you want your audience to read further from your drawing? For example, through this drawing, I wanted them to feel a quiet, astral feeling as though this girl's worried and is trying to tell us something through her expression. And it's leading towards a sadder but a calmer and a more peaceful setting instead of those sad scenes where the character cries out loud and such. So I want to focus this drawing most the character's sad expression while she's looking back at you. In short, you want to push the emotional impact of the mood you've determined earlier to your audience. After planning the general overview of your drawing, start searching for references. Best resources I always refer to would be Pinterest or the safe works I have on Instagram. In case you're one of those who are still struggling and searching for references, like you're often confused where to start, there are two approaches I usually use in terms of searching for these references. First one is basing the lighting and general mood or setting from a picture you like, such as this piece I made around July called Crimson Flower and the reference I used beside it, and of course, credit them or tag their original image if you're basing most parts of your work from it, like a particular study of the image itself. But other than that, you can use it as a general mood board for the piece you're working on. Another approach I use most often would be searching for separate references. For example, this drawing, I didn't exactly draw it based on a certain picture. I thought of the idea first and searched for several references based on the idea I've come up with. And in this case, that includes the character's design based on the artist's DTIY's design. Then I searched for another reference for her pose and expression, as well as how the shading would look like from the lighting direction I wanted. After all that, start sketching them out and put some base colors on them. For this part, don't focus too much on their details. What you want to get here is to understand and get the gist of the general lighting and atmosphere here. This is utmostly important to create the right mood because lighting changes everything, guys. Literally, is the key point to creating a good atmosphere for your pieces. Lastly, you may start adding details to it. While doing this, don't forget to incorporate the background too while you're at it, as in you should constantly check your drawing, go back and forth while detailing your character and the background, and blend their color palettes together nicely. Because like some cases where you render the characters completely first, then start coloring the background after all that, high chances your character is going to end up looking detached from your background. and it's going to be harder to fix, and it also takes longer, so don't waste your precious time. Other than backgrounds, you can also add foreground to show movement and dimension to your painting as one of the last touch-ups, but from my experience, this is completely optional because not all drawings require foregrounds, I guess. Or you can add textures to add more language to what's going on in there. For example, the glitter or snow in this drawing, depending on how you interpret it, I guess. And the last detail would be to accentuate the lightings and contrast. Trick I often use is the curve setting, as well as color dodge mode for the highlights and multiply for the shadows, but keep in mind, use it in moderation. These are the main things I plan and do in general to present mood and atmospheres in my artworks. I hope you found this helpful, and as usual, any feedbacks or requests on a certain topic are welcome down the comment section below, or you can approach me on my social media accounts, all by the same username at CAIARTT. They're all linked down below the description box. Though recently, a few people have approached me through my DMs and comments asking for drawing requests, and a few even insisted or demanded for one even after I said no. So I'd like to clarify, just in case, I accept feedbacks and requests for YouTube topics, which will then be personally evaluated and considered by me whether to bring it up or not, and whether I'm capable enough or experienced enough to even talk about it. And I don't give out free drawing requests. You want me to draw something of yours, then commission me. I hope I made this clear enough in case you misunderstood and came to me before asking this without knowing. That's completely alright, but please don't demand or insist if I or any artist out there honestly have said no to your requests, especially if you ask for a free one. We're not obliged to draw anything for anyone. We're artists, not slaves. That's all I have to say. Sorry for the rant. I had to bring this up to prevent further possible misunderstandings regarding this case. And thank you so much for staying till the end. I hope to see you guys again on my next videos.